The movie starts with Daniel and his wife, Robin. They were on their way to adopt a girl named Katylia. The director of the orphanage told them the girl doesn't speak, and it's unclear whether it's due to trauma or if she was born that way. Daniel told her that, according to the documents, a family had adopted her before, but returned her. She explained that the previous adoptive parents were an elderly couple, so they couldn't really take care of her. That's why they gave her back. The next day, Daniel and Robin decided to go ahead and adopt her. She arrives at their house and they welcome her warmly. They start showing her around the house. We learn that Daniel is a science teacher, but he's currently on summer break. Robin works in construction. They showed Katylia her room, then went to prepare her lunch. When they noticed she seemed scared and shy, they tried to talk to her to make her feel comfortable, but she looked upset and didn't want to speak. Later, Robin gets a call from her mother, asking how Katylia was doing with them. Then she says, "I'm sorry, I've just found out something terrible and I need to tell you." The shocking news was that Katylia's biological mother had killed her husband and children, and the only one who survived and ran away was Katylia. Robin is shocked, but responds calmly, "We know, and the girl isn't to blame for any of that." Her mother reacts angrily and says, "If violence runs in their blood, what can we do?" But Robin disagrees and replies, "She's just a little girl. She needs some love to help her get over the trauma." Later, Robin is eating some strawberries and realizes they've gone bad. In fact, all the fruits in the house are rotten. She goes to Daniel, who is sitting with Katylia, and tells them not to eat the fruits because they've spoiled. She says she made them some sandwiches instead, but even the sandwiches had gone bad. They check the fridge, but Daniel says it's working fine, and there's nothing wrong with it. Robin is confused and doesn't understand what's going on. She goes to put Katylia to bed, prepares a bath for her, and sees the girl is already wearing a swimsuit. Robin tells her, "We're mother and daughter now. There's no need to be shy." But Katylia doesn't answer and just goes in to bathe. Robin tells her name is beautiful, but Katylia says she prefers to be called Jessica. Robin then tells her that she had gotten pregnant 4 times, but never carried to full term. She had always wished to be a mother, but it never worked out for her. Robin starts to feel that the girl doesn't like her, but Daniel tells her they need to be patient because the girl has been through some very difficult experiences. The next morning, Daniel found a strange, sticky substance in the backyard pool. He cleaned it up and collected some of it in a glass. Then he went to show it to Robin, but Robin was grossed out and said, "Just throw it away." He refused and said he wanted to show it to Katylia too, but Katylia was still asleep. Robin asked him, "Where did the knives go?" He replied, "I didn't even touch them." She got upset and left for work. Daniel went to his home lab, wanting to figure out what that substance was. Katylia came in and tried to play with the tools inside. He stopped her and showed her the substance he had found in the morning. He told her, "Look, this thing actually moves." As she leaned in to see it, it scared her, and he laughed with her. Katylia hit his hand and walked off. She went out to play in the garden and started throwing her toys into the water. A girl named Fiona saw her and came over to play. Meanwhile, Daniel was organizing Katylia's room when he was shocked to find all the missing knives there. He went to her and saw Fiona with her. He asked the girl, "What's your name?" "Fiona." So he took her back to her mother, who had been desperately looking for her. Robin had just returned from work, and they met Lizzie, Fiona's mother. Later, they went back home and found Katylia's toys broken. They both felt something strange about Lizzie. Something seemed off about her. When Robin saw the knives back in their place, Daniel told her, "They were all in Katylia's room." But they didn't make a big deal of it, thinking she was still just a child. That night, Katylia snuck into Daniel's lab and took some of the tools from there. The next day, Robin stood outside the house, refusing to go in. Daniel asked her, "Why?" She said, "Ever since Katylia came, I've felt a strange energy in the house." He laughed at first, but then reassured her, "There's nothing going on, don't worry." Then he said, "Why don't we throw a party for Katylia so she can make new friends?" So the next day, they held a party and invited friends and neighbors. Katylia went to Robin, but found her chatting with her friends. One woman said to Katylia, "If you meet my daughter, you'll really like her." But Katylia didn't seem interested and walked away. She then came across a girl who bluntly asked her, "I heard your mom killed your dad and your brothers. Is that true?" Katylia got very upset, hit the girl, and a fight broke out between them. The mothers rushed over to break it up. Katylia got overwhelmed and left. That night, Robin and Daniel were standing by the pool. The weather was warm, so they decided to go for a swim. Meanwhile, Katylia had packed her things and ran off into the forest. They were caught in the moment and didn't even realize she was gone. When Daniel returned to the house, he couldn't find her. Daniel went out looking for her outside the house, and indeed, he found her collapsed and unconscious. He realized she had tried to run away, so he picked her up and brought her back home. In the morning, Lizzie and her daughter Fiona came to visit. Fiona was determined to play with Katylia. Daniel told her, let her rest a bit. She's still asleep. But Lizzie replied, you relax. My daughter won't stop until she gets in. So Fiona went into Katylia's room, and they started pulling out toys to play. Daniel joined them and sat down. Suddenly, Fiona said, the monsters are coming. Katylia got terrified. Daniel tried to calm her and said, there are no monsters. Don't worry. Later, Fiona asked Katylia, have you ever seen a monster before? Katylia answered, monsters keep scaring you. No matter how far you run, they'll find you. Then she added, the monster is already here now. Suddenly, she started vomiting blood and left the room. Daniel stayed behind, cleaning the carpet, while Robin found some of her husband's tools hidden under the mosquito net. They were both surprised and decided to take Katylia to a doctor. At the clinic, the doctor asked Katylia to sit and draw something. The first drawing she made was strange. He then asked her to draw her family. She drew someone who looked like Robin, but suddenly grabbed a red marker and ruined the drawing. She then took a picture of Robin and punched a hole through the stomach area. Then she started looking through the hole. Everyone was shocked by what she had done. Later, Robin began vomiting too and kept staring at herself in the mirror. Afterward, they went home. But Robin felt uneasy about Katylia. She told Daniel, that girl is dangerous. There's something unnatural about her. Daniel disagreed and said, she seems like a normal child. It would be cruel to be like the people who abandoned her before. Robin replied, her mother was clearly disturbed, so it's likely that the girl inherited something broken in her mind, just like her mother. Then she said, I'm sure she's going to hurt me. She started crying and said, I'm pregnant. Daniel was shocked and overjoyed. He went out to buy some things, but when he came back, he heard screaming and ran upstairs to see what happened. He was horrified to find Katylia had tied Robin up and was hitting her in the stomach. He pulled her away and carried Robin to another room. She was devastated. Robin insisted, get her out of this house now. Daniel went to Katylia and said, what you did was wrong. Because of this, Robin wants to send you back to the orphanage. But Katylia didn't respond. She just started packing her things. Daniel stopped her and said, we love you, and we don't want to hurt you. But my wife is everything to me, and I can't lose her. Katylia gave Daniel a paper with an address written on it. He understood that she wanted to go to that place. So he took her, and they went together. But when they arrived, Katylia refused to get out of the car. Daniel stepped out and started calling out to see if anyone was there. There was no one around, but the front door was open. He went inside and found an old woman sitting still, not moving. The food on the table was completely rotten. She asked him, what brings you here? He said, my adopted daughter sent me. When she heard the name, she replied, I adopted that little devil before you. Where is she? Let me see her. He told her, she's outside in the car. But suddenly the woman burst out of the room holding a metal rod. Daniel was shocked. He wished the ground would just swallow him up. Out of nowhere, the old woman lunged at Katylia, but it turned out she was tied up. Katylia hit her. Then the old woman's husband came in, grabbed Katylia, and threw them both out of the house. He got into a heated argument with Daniel and asked him, is your wife pregnant? Daniel was surprised and said, yes. Why are you asking? The man said, my wife couldn't get pregnant because of cancer, but after we adopted Katylia, she suddenly got pregnant, and the pregnancy was very strange. Daniel got into the car, clearly upset, and apologized to Katylia for what had happened to her. But their emotional moment was interrupted when the old woman came stumbling out of the house. Daniel swerved the car quickly and managed to stop just in time. She fell, and he rushed back to the house where Robin was working. He entered calling out for her and was shocked to find her belly had grown enormously. He was stunned. He hugged her tightly and broke into tears. Later, Robin went to see the doctor. She told her, I thought I had miscarried because I was bleeding. She showed her a container with a tiny fetus inside. She added, I found it in the blood, but then I felt movement in my belly, and I didn't understand. Even the doctor was confused. But the bigger shock came when Robin showed her something else she had found that morning. Another fetus, larger than the first, and terrifying in appearance. The doctor told her, you need to get some tests done immediately. She said, this could be a serious complication. But Robin refused and said, I'm fine, and so is my daughter. Daniel, as usual, was outside fixing the pool. Katylia was watching him from the window. Robin got back home and started looking for him, but Katylia quickly locked her inside. She tried to attack her. She was going to kill her, but Robin managed to escape. She ran to Fiona's house and started watching her bugs, but suddenly Fiona attacked her. Daniel grabbed her and took her to the hospital. The doctor said, "She's fine, just a small cut." He brought her back home, but when he went to check on Robin, he was shocked by how huge her belly had become. He told her, "If you were 9 months pregnant, your belly wouldn't look like this," and asked her to go see a doctor. But she refused and insisted he needed to get Katylia out of the house. The next day, Daniel found the same strange substance they had seen before, and he noticed a weird-looking toy that Fiona had left behind. But just then, he received a call from the doctor, who wanted to speak to him about Katylia. When he went to see him, the doctor said, "When I looked at Katylia's brain scan, I noticed what seemed like a small fracture. But upon closer examination, I found that inside the fracture, there's a fetus." And the shock grew even more when the doctor explained. Katylia's mother was pregnant with twins, but Katylia got rid of her sister while still in the womb. The remains of that second twin stayed inside and are now pressing on a part of her brain. That's what caused her to lose the ability to speak. He added, "We need to remove that part if we want her to speak again." Later, they returned home, and Daniel said it was better for Katylia to stay in the car. He didn't want his wife to see her, but when he went inside, he was horrified to see blood on the bed and found Robin in the bathtub, apparently trying to give birth. And she actually delivered something extremely strange. Daniel panicked. He couldn't understand what was happening and ran out of the house in fear. Katylia told him the solution was with Fiona. So when he went to her, Lizzie, Fiona's mother, told him that her daughter could communicate with the dead. She realized this after overhearing her talking to her deceased father. When Fiona arrived, Daniel showed her the strange toy she had left. She told him, "That's Katylia." He replied, "Not this, the one behind her." "Who is that?" She said, "I don't know her name." He asked, "Is she the one hurting my wife?" Fiona replied, "Yes, it's her." He asked her for help, and she took him upstairs. She put on a blindfold to help her connect with the spirit world. Then she said, she just wanted to live, but Katylia stole that chance from her. That's why she's angry, and she won't forgive until she gets justice. She had been trying to reach the spirit through many people, like her real mother, that old woman, and even Robin. When Daniel asked her, "How can we help her?" she replied, "Dig up the body before she takes you all down." Meanwhile, the doctor had gone to Robin's house and found the door open. She entered, saw no one, and began calling out loudly, saying, "I'm here to help you," while secretly hiding a syringe in her hand. But when she heard the sound of scissors, she panicked and said, "I'll come back another time." As she turned to leave, she found Katylia standing in front of her. She was shocked. Daniel told her, "You need to run now." But suddenly, Robin appeared behind him and hit him. Then she went and finished off the poor doctor. Katylia ran upstairs while Robin started searching for her. Eventually, she heard Katylia's voice and figured out where she was. She grabbed her and took her to the pool, dragging her into the water with her. But Fiona and her mother arrived at the last moment. Fiona said to Robin, "The spirit lives inside you. She's controlling you." That pregnancy was from the spirit who wants revenge on Katylia. Fiona pointed to a spot on Katylia's head and told them, "That's where the remains of her twin are. That's where the spirit is hiding." Later, they went to check on Daniel and found he was still alive. But Robin suddenly appeared and killed Lizzie. Everyone was shocked. They grabbed Daniel and helped him escape to his lab. But Robin hit him in the legs. She was about to finish him off, but they managed to lock the door just in time, while she kept banging on the wall trying to reach them. Fiona told Katylia, "You have to dig up the body before we all die." Katylia went and brought something to dig with. They started convincing Daniel to remove the fetus from her brain. Fiona said, "It's the only way." And so Daniel performed the operation and removed the fetus. He was in total shock at what he had done, but Katylia was still alive. Her sister, the spirit of the twin, appeared and started coming toward him. He nearly died from the fear, but Katylia spoke for the first time and said, "That's my sister." Then she ended it all and threw her away. Daniel and Robin were finally relieved. Robin snapped out of her madness, and it turned out she wasn't pregnant at all. And that's the end of the movie. We hope you enjoyed this summary. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.